The Gospel of Gold by G.S. Lewis. Chapter 3. Good Intentions. The deluge of rain pounding on the van was so loud that Gold wasn't sure his fellow trainers had heard him right. Presently, their faces shifted from befuddlement to mild alarm. "What?" Marina asked incredulously. "Abort?" Junichi hissed, as if afraid that the van driver would overhear. But, what are you on about? How can you talk of quitting before you've even started?" Gold studied their faces for a moment, but decided against speaking to them of his visions. Both of them, of course, knew about the story of his miraculous regeneration in the burned tower 13 years prior. It had taken his father no small effort to dispel rumors of his boy being a modern incarnation of the Phoenix. If he started mouthing off about seeing her in a dream, it would all be undone. Indeed, it would make his simultaneous abandonment of the Johto Journey all the harder for his father to bear. I don't feel good," he lied, searching frantically for something to say that would avert the crisis he suddenly found himself in. "This Pokemon Journey thing was a mistake. I see that now. I can just explain it to Professor Elm and have Charles give me a lift back." "Dude, are you insane?" Junichi demanded in a sharp whisper, glancing nervously at the driver. "Did you fill out the same metric buttload of paperwork that I had to? Qualifying for this journey was like getting a golden ticket." "But they do substitutions, right?" Gold interjected. "Yes, but that's not the point," Marina countered. "You've just got pre-journey jitters. It happens. Just stay cool until you're out of Elm's lab with your starter, and we'll help you figure things out, okay? Just relax for now." Yeah. Gold stared at the headrest in front of him, his mind dull with indecision. "What do I do?" he thought, feeling beads of cold sweat slide down his brow. "What the hell do I do?" He couldn't tell how much more time had passed when the van lurched to a slower pace and rolled into a well-lit area on the roadside. Looking up, Gold saw that they had entered a gas station. "Pit stop!" the driver announced cheerfully, popping his door open. "We've reached Cherry Grove City, only a little way out from New Barktown. I've just got to refill the tank and, drain the tank, if you know what I mean." He laughed at his own joke, then glanced around, scratching his beard. "There's a Pokemart nearby, so if any of you kids need some snacks or last-minute supplies you forgot at home, now's the time. I'll be back soon." Gold unbuckled his seatbelt and slid out of the van, numbly following the driver as he headed into the shop by the pumps. He had meant to stretch his limbs and nothing more, but he paused in the downpour, watching Junichi and Marina jog through the jingling doors. Even through the rain-obscured glass, he could see inside. Marina making a beeline for the restroom, the driver leaning an elbow on the cashier's desk, and Junichi gazing at a poster above a rack. He squinted his eyes and managed to make out a couple of figures on the poster. 13 figures in total, and his eyes widened. "There's Morty! I'd recognize that headband anywhere. It must be a league promotional." 13. Unlucky or otherwise, Gold was seeing the number everywhere. One champion presided over the Pokemon League. 4 elite trainers, aptly named the Elite Four, stood between challengers and his throne. 8 gym leaders held the badges that everyone needed to even access the Elite Four. The 1, the 4, and the 8 were organized in a pyramid shape, indicating the climb that all league trainers must make in their struggle for honor. 13 gatekeepers. His eyes fell upon another familiar face, and his heart instantly turned cold. It was the man from his vision, staring out from the poster with a one-eyed, steely gaze. Gym Leader Faulkner. Gold took an involuntary step backwards, turning back toward the van. Another customer had arrived and had just stepped out of her car. Gold approached her. "Excuse me, which way is it to New Barktown?" The older woman gave him an inquisitive look, then pointed off to her left. "That way, straight east." "Thank you." He waited until she had turned away, then turned and ran, opposite the direction she had pointed. His head buzzed dimly, and the thick curtains of rain enveloped him, saturating him almost at once. Still he ran, not understanding what he was doing, his mind held hostage against his impulses. "What are you doing, you idiot?" it screamed at him. "You're ruining all the hard work that you and your dad went through to get here!" "I don't care," he responded, his shoes plunging through puddles. "There's nothing for me at the end of this journey, except a pet to bury." "Be sensible!" chided his rational self. "Are you going to let a nightmare about what might happen control your future? Just don't use Cyndaquil against Faulkner!" "That was no mere nightmare," he snapped back, his feet now thudding upon wooden planks. "I felt that hateful presence several times before. That vision will happen one way or another, and this is the only way out." He had reached the end of a dock, where two men in sailor uniforms were holding a large crate between them. They had stopped to look curiously at him, and he leaned over, winded from running. Excuse me," he panted. "Where are you guys bound?" The first sailor readjusted his grip as he observed Gold. "Ruins of Elf. Hey, are you alright, little fella?" "Quit socializing with kids, Lee," the other soldier grunted, starting to guide his partner and load back toward a gangplank. It led up to a docked ship, barely visible through the sheets of rain. "Hang on!" Gold called to them. "Is your boat leaving soon? I need a lift!"